good morning, Ro. Good
Good morning.
morning, good morning, world, and welcome to Miss Energy Fireside Chat 2023. And with us is Romario DeFour, 26, a native of Trinidad and Tobago. I mentioned it correctly, right? I
Yeah,
say it right. And right now, he is based in Chicago and trailblazing for startup technology companies. I worked with him last year. The past months have been incredible. Journey to Romario. And the good thing about Fireside Chat with Miss Energy, yours truly, is we will share to the world or to those who are aspiring to be good to great to unstoppable, and not only in the technology sector, but in all kinds of industry as long as you have a quota, a target, or a goal. So let's dive in. Ro,
yeah.
thank you for
Hi.
joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. Here in Chicago, it's beautiful today. It's about 79 degrees. It's going to be high 87, low 75, and it's going to be a beautiful day today. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think Chicago is better than where I'm at today. I'm in Ocean Shores. This is actually 2 hours away from Seattle. So when you wake up, it's bedside weather. You're finding your energy, and it's very cozy. It's good for remote work as long as you have your coffee by your side all the time.
Yeah,
All right, so let's dive in. I'm sure the audience would like to hear your experience, the
yeah,
learnings, and the techniques that you have learned, not only to apply it professionally but also personally. So
yeah.
I'll ask you a question. Maybe you can walk through this question about what is the reason why you left the hospitality industry, or let's say the arts, right? And jump into this death defying, quota driven sales role.
Yeah, so in February of 2022, I was offered a promotion to be one of the youngest managers at Soho House, and which is a membership lounge, very luxurious, high-end hospitality company, and they also have hotels as well. So that was in February 2022, but I also have always had this seed being planted in my head, and it's slowly growing that turned into a tree of an idea where I had a previous client told me her name was Michelle. She told me in the summer of 2021 that I would be very good in sales because of the soft skills that I had really mastered in my 7 years of hospitality being a server, like communication, customer satisfaction, but also my favorite thing, which is my favorite skill, building relationship, long lasting relationships. So having that idea grow, thinking about it, reflecting, getting the offer to potentially be a manager, I decided to say no, which is a very powerful thing to say at a young age. I was 24, and I ended up going to and reflecting, making a plan, putting down a project list, and then breaking it down into little bubbles, little tasks. And that's how I found Vendition, which was a 6 week boot camp that led me to interviewing with Ria in my first interview.
That's interesting. What a journey, no? I mean, breaking down into pieces, looking at it as a project. I think that's a very good approach to life and your career. So, having said that, Ro, what
Mhm.
was the first impression when you have that interview with me? That's one question. And two, any key takeaway in that interview that stuck with you before you signed the offer sheet?
Yeah, great question. I remembered when it was around May 17th of last year, where I was informed that I was going to be interviewing with Surface Rocket, and the first interviewer would be you. So I remember that the interview was supposed to be 30 minutes, and it ended up being 55 minutes. And I also remember how I felt in the first 5 minutes. I like to, reflect in the inside when I'm meeting someone and and ask myself, how am I feeling speaking to this person? So when we got into the interview, it didn't feel like we were having an interview. It just started like a conversation. And I remember one of the first things that I felt is that you were very kind, you were very caring and very compassionate, which kind of broke down a trust wall for me in the sense of you started sharing about your family. We started realizing we had so many connections, and in the sense of you being an immigrant from the Philippines, recently moving with now your hubby Chris. And I was telling you about how my family and my sister, my brother, and my mom, we had immigrated from Trinidad, and we also started sharing about our goals in life, our desires, and also your past, in the sense of you taking care of your mom, your dad, and recently your mom passing away. So we had very much similar goals and similar values and very similar morals in us. And the first 30 minutes, we were just, having back and forth conversation. And then we started getting into more technical stuff in the sense of what are some things that, how do you feel about failure and different drive? And you're looking, I remember that you mentioned, which was further down the line when we started working together, that you mentioned that you were looking for ambition, drive, and passionate, which is what, if you're getting into sales, you need to have. You need to understand there's going to be a lot of way more losses than wins, but the wins will be bigger than the losses. And that is something that you were focused on making sure that I was able to know and understand. And I just remembered you being just, I was just like, this person can be a friend for a long time. And look at us right now. We're talking. We probably talk to each other on WhatsApp once a week over the phone, and we update each other on life. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing to have between you and a friend. I see you as a sister, but also as a mentor, because you've given me so much wisdom at my age, that when I speak to people in the sense of interviews, they're so curious, like, where did you learn this? How do you know how to write a code email so well? How do you know how to, how do you know about Medic and Bant? Like, and I have to mention, I had a terrific manager in Ria at my last job, and I see you as something special in my life, and I see you as a privilege as well.
We're both a blessing.
Yes.
Actually, just looking at you right now and remembering your first meeting with me, that aura of uncertainty is
Mhm.
gone.
It
You
is.
talk like a CEO, somebody who is so confident. The confidence in you just radiates. The way you say, or the way you organize your thought is just so confident. And congratulations, Ro, because it takes two to tango. It is a good mentor is always great,
Yeah.
but it is the recipient as well. It's like, how can I put on and pour on water if my jar is broken? If it has a hole in it, it will just keep on. I will be tired, and I will expire. But I am so happy seeing you right now. You're like a flower. You just blossom like crazy. And I am so confident that whoever you meet in life, you will just have a easy way of talking. And always remember that we're all the same. We're all human. We eat the same pizza. you know we all love rice, I think. Not to some nationality, but yeah, I think you're very imaginative. I think something that I want the audience to know is sales is all about imagination too,
Yeah.
because the numbers are not with you today. You're given an elephant. You're given, let's say, a $1 million quota for a year. You can't
Mhm.
even hold it, right? You don't know where to get it. But if you don't have that imagination, right, and the grit that I saw in you, that even if the pressure is on, remember we have conversations that I am brutally honest,
Yeah. I think
right?
that, yeah, and I think that's one of the best things that I remember about you is that you were honest. You understand our strengths and weaknesses, and you understand our personality, and you understood that I can take constructive criticism in a
Yeah.
sense of, but the way you presented it was like advice. And I love that about you.
Yeah, I don't want to destroy a person, a soul, especially
Mhm.
if a soul is like you. And there's a lot of souls in the world like you, Ro, who's
Yeah.
just starting. And I don't want you to have that stigma that I had,
Hmm.
in my journey of 27 years in the corporate sales. And I put down a note. I even told this to my mom and my relatives that I will never be that manager. If
Yeah.
I'm given a chance or an authority to lead and inspire people, I will never do that because it just destroys a person who's feeding her parent. You don't know the battle that the person is going through. You never know that the mom has cancer
Yeah.
and she just like goes out and smile, but in the CR comfort room she cries.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think this is a very heartfelt conversation, very very nice to share you as a blessing to the world. This is Miss Energy is all about. So I know that you have a meeting with another high-tech software
Yeah.
company, so this is the last question. I want everybody to relate. So today, as you walk out of the house, as the road today, what what is that like rule the rule your favorite rule that you have learned
Hmm.
with me during that like more than a year stint as a sales development representative?
Yeah, that's a great question. What's that rule that you taught us that will take us a long way in the sales career? Because you have 25 plus years in technology. You worked at IBM, you worked at Microsoft, you worked at Oracle. Recently, now at Service Rocket. Now you're VP of sales for NetSuite with a Filipino company. So you've always had a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge, and me being a sponge, I remember one of the first things you told us is that always be attentive, always push for that sale. For example, we had that a weekend in the summertime of last year where the quarter had just restarted, and you were trying to make me understand that once an email comes in of an inquiry, it's very important to respond very quickly, even though it might be a Saturday. And it's some people that might watch us or hear about this may think like, oh, that's overworking. But we were in a very privileged position to the point that we work remotely. And I remember when we got the first time that happened was when we got an email, and I didn't take time to respond to it. And I remember that we came back on Monday, and you said, "Hey, I had responded to it. I saw the email, but bro, like this is imagine if somebody else from another company came in and stole that potential lead." And you gave it that very advice, and you said like, hey, in sales it's all about quickness, the 5 second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get to it. And then you realize that it only takes about 10 seconds to say, hi John, this and that, let's connect on Monday. Very easy. And I remember about a month later, you someone had messaged, and it was during the weekend, and I was laying on the couch watching a soccer game, and I was just like, okay, I can respond to this really quickly and say like, hi Catherine, yeah, for sure, let's talk about this on Monday, and I'll connect you with Ria. And it was so very quick. It was just like so very quickly, and I realized like, wow, that took 10 seconds. That could potentially lead to more money to cover our KPIs, our quotas, more money for my pocket in a sense of bonuses, more money for you in commissions. And it literally took 10 seconds of work. So that's something that I've also put into my life, a sense of me laying down, waking up and thinking like, okay, should I lay down for another 10 minutes, or should I go drink some water right away? Let's do it now. And it's really been beneficial in my job search as well, me getting an email back, sending an email right away of saying, hey, I'm very interested, this and that. And it's been very beneficial in my time management, my soft skills, and also, again, um, finding the value of that. So I want to say thank you for that lesson.
I love it. Actually, it gives me goosebumps because speed, speed, not everybody can do that speed
Yeah.
and with direction. So speed with a good director, a good direction is key,
Mm.
right? Because immediately the blessing or the grace is with you, right? And you can just imagine that CEO or that controller who's going on maternity leave and immediately needs a multi consolidator, like a financial management, and here you are answering her. So the relationship is already done in
Yep.
that first email. And yeah, I'd like to say that I think sales is a very different animal. If you are in the administration or whatever vendor procurement side, I can probably say take your time, drink your two coffee mugs, and stare it for 1 hour. I don't care. You're not metricized, right? But for sales, as I always say, put your warrior
Mm-hmm.
helmet on because you want a great life. There are no days off. For sure, we can sleep 8 to 9 hours. It's not as if you don't have days off. But what I'm telling you, if the need is here, whether it's your birthday and you're having a buffet party, grab the phone and close the deal. Else, don't go into sales. Yeah,
Yeah, and
don't
it's
go into
important.
sales.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to make, if you want to have that generational wealth, it's all these
yes,
CEOs, these executives, they're working 7 days a week. But the thing
exactly.
about, when you're passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work, and that's how it felt when I responded to the email. I thought to myself, wow, I reflected, and I'm just like, I'm very passionate about this, and it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I am investing in myself.
Yeah, that you're Mr. Universe. That's how I feel. Even if I have a fever, I have cough. I mean, you've seen us, right? In Zoom
Yeah.
meetings. And we're not feeling well. I'm there. You have to show up because you don't know the person you're talking to
Mm.
is the tycoon of Asia.
Yeah.
You don't know that he's just going to give you 26 countries, 26 contracts, you know? So, yeah, this is so good, Ro. Time is very much important. I just hope that we will continue being friends. And thank you for allowing me to become your mentor and for introducing me to a lot of people great people.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I know that the world is very inspired to hear somebody like you who will trailblaze and convince enough that you can be good to great to unstoppable. So thank you, Ro, and thank
Yeah.
you everybody who's listening. This is Miss Energy signing off till our next live fireside chat. Okay, bye, Ro. Good luck.
Bye.